Hey guys, it's Britt. Tonight I'm here to share my opinions on crunchy moms, and specifically I'm going to talk about Fern. She has a massive following on TikTok, and it's not really for the best reason, but I figured that she would be a good one to kind of utilize as an example of what a crunchy mom is, because she is a self-proclaimed crunchy mom, and I'm just going to share my thoughts. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so first things first, it's really funny because I posted questions for my Q&A, and one of my subscribers asked what my opinion on crunchy moms is. And then I fell down the rabbit hole of Fern over the last couple of days, and I've just now kind of come out of that rabbit hole, and I am shook by some of the things that specifically Alice does, but evidently some of these things are not super uncommon. And before we get too far into the video, I want to put a disclaimer. If you do any of these things and you have a happy and healthy family, that's fine. That's, your choice. But in this video, I really want to make clear there's a fine line between neglecting your children versus living a crunchy lifestyle. And I think that that's why Alice is under so much pressure from people on social media, because a lot of the things that she's doing is not just living by a certain lifestyle, but she is going into that neglect type territory with some of the things that she's doing and has admitted she's doing. So this is not hearsay, this is not rumors. These are things that she has actually owned up to and or shown on video. And that's why people are very, very concerned about what's going on. Now, one more disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a pediatrician. I'm not a nutritionist or anything like that. A lot of these things I'm obviously only sharing from my point of view, but I'm also bringing it to you guys because I have really intelligent subscribers who are nutritionists, doctors, might have direct experience with this kind of stuff. So I really want you guys to sound off in the comments with what you know about these things as well. But just a couple of disclaimers. First, I want to tell you guys what a crunchy mom is according to the internet. They generally believe, for varying reasons, that there is something bad or less beneficial about buying mainstream products or doing other common activities in the mainstream way. You might be a crunchy mom if you bake all your own bread, make your own jam, jellies, pickles, applesauce, etc. Those I really don't care about. I think that's really cool if you can, make your own food. Those are not, whatever. If you gave birth at home by choice with a midwife, doula, or unassisted, and that's what Alice does or did, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. The next one is you prefer to teach your children yourself at home instead of letting them go to a private or public school. And a lot of them also unschool. And unschooling is different than homeschooling. Unschooling is sending them or taking them out into nature and letting them kind of learn what they want to learn about and not going off of a curriculum or a set of, classes that other kids might go through as part of a homeschool process. If the child is interested in botany or, flowers, then you take them out and you let them learn at their own pace about flowers. Unschooling is different than homeschool, and I've heard a lot of them unschool. The next one is if you grow your own food as much as possible and buy the rest at farmers markets or health food stores. If you can grow your own food, I'm all here for it. When it comes to going to farmers market or health food stores, that is not in most people's budget. And I'm sure that a lot of us would love to do all of our shopping in a farmer's market, but that's just not feasible because farmers markets can be very, very expensive. If any of y'all have gone to a farmer's market, which I'm sure you have, you go there and you get like literally a bag of produce and it's $80. It's super duper expensive. It's really great and you're supporting farmers that are most likely local to your area, but it's very expensive. And when you're raising little ones, most people don't have that in their budget to go there 2 to 3 times a week to buy an $80 bag of groceries. choose to not use birth control, you don't wear a bra or shoes. Alice is very proud to not wear shoes. She calls them feet prisons.
My name is Alice and I am a crunchy mom. Lately I have not been wearing feet prisons. I have noticed only benefits. I used to have severe foot pain. Now I do not. I feel more awake and more alive. A lot of how we experience the world is supposed to happen through our feet. Nobody has ever told me to put on shoes before, but I have gotten some very intense looks from old ladies.
And I just found that to be hilarious and also very, very weird. Not wearing shoes is not, if you're going to do it at your house or around your home, that's one thing, but nobody wants to see you up in Target with no shoes. It's disgusting and very weird. And you're also, putting yourself in harm's way to, what if you step on something? And Alice and a lot of these other crunchy moms are completely anti-vax. So you don't have a tetanus shot. What if you step on a nail or a piece of rust that cuts you and you're completely unvaccinated? More importantly, what happens if her child steps on something rusty and he's not vaccinated, because she has said before that he is fully unvaccinated. She doesn't believe in vaccines, and that's just her way of thinking. But what if he steps on something rusty in a parking lot because she doesn't put shoes on him and ends up, needing a tetanus shot? The next thing is you don't use shampoo or soap, but instead maybe sea salt or a variety of other things. This is something else that Alice does, that she uses unflavored or unscented Castile soap to brush her teeth. Crazy. See, this is the thing with Alice, is she actually picks and chooses what she wants to be crunchy about. She's on TikTok and she has a TV in her house. So you're kind of cherry picking what best suits you, but you're also trying to stand on a pedestal and saying that you are the crunchiest mom, and anyone else who's not doing it like you is not. It's this weird competition. It's very, very weird. So when it comes to Alice and Fern, like I said in the beginning of the video, they have a really big presence on TikTok. On YouTube, she has a smaller presence, 11,000 subscribers. And a lot of her videos get views because I think it's traffic from the Reddit snark page that she has, and also people on TikTok that have problems with her, just the way that she's raising this child. There are so many red flags, and like I said, I'm trying to be fair about it because I know the parenting looks different to everybody, but a lot of the things that she is doing are widely known that they're not good for children, like taking away toothpaste, like not allowing them to wear shoes, like not giving them proper vaccines, like not taking them to a pediatrician. She's also someone who does not believe in prenatal care. She does not believe in vaccines for herself. And her son eats 90% fruit, no water. If he asks for water, then she will give him water, but no water, 90% fruit. He doesn't eat meals. He snacks all day, per her own videos. She has said that multiple times.
Fern usually does not eat any meals. Before we had kids, all of our meals were big buffet style meals. I would cook tons of different things at the same time, put them on a plate, and we would all eat a little bit and then the rest would be leftovers. But Fern doesn't like that style. When I hand him a plate full of stuff, he gets excited for a second, then he gets overwhelmed and throws the plate. Toddlers' little tummies aren't made to eat that way. They prefer little snacks all day. So that's what we do now. We just snack and snack and snack throughout the day.
Aside from the no shoes thing, one of the biggest issues that people have noticed, and I noticed it too, is that she allows her child to eat rocks, sticks, and dirt. I wish that I was kidding when I was saying that, but I'm absolutely not. There are so many videos of her child sitting in the river, literally sucking on rocks.
Why I let my exclusively breastfed baby eat sticks, rocks, sand, dirt, and unsanitized shopping carts. In the last couple hundred years, the allopathic industry has taken the world by storm. This did not happen by accident. It happened after a series of billion-dollar campaigns intended to shift the public's perspective on health. I do not fear bacteria. In fact, I welcome it. I trust nature and my baby. It is not a coincidence babies have this instinct while they are breastfeeding.
Not like a playing with it and putting it near his mouth. To her, that is something natural, and it ties back to breastfeeding, which I don't even believe that that's true, but let's just say that it is. Let's give her a little bit of credit here. Rocks are dirty. She has also allowed germs to be introduced to him by allowing him to teethe on unsanitized shopping carts in the grocery store, which is so disgusting. She said that when she, had him at home, they immediately allowed people over. They immediately took him out to stores and, grocery shopping and all this kind of stuff. There was no kind of isolation period because she wanted to immediately introduce him to the outside world and basically introduce him to germs, all while not being vaccinated and not believing in vaccines at all. Something else that she does not believe in alongside vaccines, and I'm sure you guys saw this coming, is sunscreen. So she doesn't use sunscreen herself. She doesn't use it on her children. She just doesn't believe in it. She never will going forward. She is currently pregnant, so she's just never going to use sunscreen. She thinks that big pharma is behind everything and this like fear mongering stuff. I would argue that her content is fear mongering by telling people that what they're doing that is backed by science and medical professionals is wrong. And she knows all of the answers, even though she's not a doctor, she's not a medical professional, she's not a scientist, she's not a nutritionist. So it's a lot of deflection instead of pointing the finger and saying that everyone else is fear mongering. She needs to look at herself. To spread so much misinformation on your platform, this only comes around once in a while to this degree where it's consistent misinformation. It's consistent conspiracies against any big company, any company that has been working on their craft for 30, 60, 100, 200 years. She's decided that they're the bad guy and she knows more than them, even though she's only a 23-year-old girl, and they're bad and what she's telling you is good. The really scary thing too that she does by allowing her child to put his mouth on these unsanitized shopping carts and not wear shoes and suck on rocks and eat dirt and stuff, what is she going to do when he gets sick? Is she going to just expect his quote immune system to do the work for him? Because she has already said that she doesn't believe in vaccines and medication. So that's what I'm saying. I think that you can live this holistic, natural lifestyle without putting your children in danger. Now, if you're going to do this for yourself and that's your decision, that's one thing. But once you have a child, that's where everything changes. And this is super duper scary what she's saying. The last big point that I want to hit on, and I will have more videos coming on her, but I just wanted to kind of give an intro, kind of like I did with the Doherty Dozen. There's still a lot more that I'm looking into with this, but I had to talk to you guys about this. Do you know about her? Have you seen her on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube? But the last thing I want to touch on is she is a big advocate of consent, informed consent. You have to have informed consent. Doctors are just out to, line their own pockets, and everybody at the hospital and doctor's office is evil. And I understand that she did have a traumatic experience, and I'm not going to share that because it's her story. She did have a traumatic experience at a hospital while having her first child, who unfortunately is not here, but that's all the info that I will give. If you guys want to hear it, you can hear it from her directly. But she's constantly talking about informed consent, but constantly talking about informed consent. She is putting this child all over social media. So that right there proves to me that she doesn't know what informed consent is.
Informed consent. This, I guess, for some reason, this is more controversial than people who think that people should be forcibly injected with things. Informed consent just means that you believe in bodily autonomy. You want the child to be able to choose for themselves, just like any other patients, after they've been informed with the risks and the benefits on both sides, and they know every single option they have, and it's a choice that they've made by their own free will, not due to any coercion. Crunchy moms believe in informed consent, and we also choose not to partake in the childhood schedule. There is a subset of people who believe in holistic parenting, but do partake in the childhood schedule, and those moms are called scrunchy moms. So there's a big difference between crunchy moms and scrunchy moms. People like to sometimes kind of mislabel them and jumble them together, but we are extremely divided as a community. I could be friends with a scrunchy mom, but we are definitely not the same thing. And now this division is becoming even more apparent because of mandates being passed. And now it's becoming to the point where scrunchy moms falsely identifying as crunchy are now identifying as an oppressed group when they're not. Crunchy moms are not allowed to go work out at gyms in New York or eat at restaurants in New York, but scrunchy moms are. So there is a difference. And those things also aren't vegan. Like, some people try to say that they're vegan, but they partake in the schedule, and that's not vegan. And there's also a big difference in our children. People are gonna get really angry when I say this, but I can tell when kids are raised by crunchy parents and when kids aren't. There's a lot of differences between the two groups. Crunchy moms may be targeted by CPS, not necessarily. There's always bad eggs out there. Scrunchy moms tend not to be targeted by CPS.
And once you see her ranting and raving about informed consent, and then you see her child plastered all over TikTok, all over YouTube, all over all of these different sites, and then she tries to stand on the, her podium and say that she's all about informed consent, but then you look at her utilizing her child and putting him in so much content. I mean, her child's on TikTok every single day. This is someone who creates content around her child, and around his health and his movements and his, what he's doing as he grows up. You know nothing about informed consent. So why should anyone believe you when you're spouting out this bullshit about sunscreen and eating 90% fruit and not drinking water and all of this, crazy shit that she's constantly putting all over her platforms? She knows nothing about informed consent. She knows nothing about actual, science and how medicine works. To me, she just seems like a true conspiracy theorist that is spreading dangerous misinformation to other parents that might come across her platform, and not, maybe they're really young and they just haven't done the research, or maybe they're susceptible to believe things that she is saying, which I hope does not happen. But the problem with this entire lifestyle is that there are kids that are walking the line and sometimes going over the line of being neglected versus living a different lifestyle that their parents think is better for them. But a lot of these things can go into the neglecting your health so quickly, depending on how involved the parent is in, anti-vax and using salt for toothpaste and using soap for toothpaste and all of this kind of wild shit that is all over these like crunchy mom sites. So either way, to each is their own. But once, like I said, once you have kids that are in the picture, they are relying on you to take really good care of them. And I would say that saying that doctors are all completely evil and you know more than doctors is probably not the best thing. And y'all know that I try to not parent shame, but when I see something that is so clearly teetering the line with neglect, that's where I have to look at it for what it is. And that's how I feel about her. Having your child teeth on dirty shopping carts and walk around with no shoes is not in any child's best interest, and that's my opinion. But like I said, I will have more coming on her. I don't want to make this video super long, but tell me what you guys know about her. Have you looked over on the Reddit? I'll link that down below for the time being, but more to come. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.